We got Joe Crabill getting ready to come down to the cage.
He's another tall one.
Joe Crabill 1-0. His teammates are really high on this young man. You know, he works his ass off. He's always on the mat. Very coachable, hard-working guy. You know, they really think the stars is the limit for him.
Well, when's that moment you realize somebody you're training with belongs in the cage and not just helping other people get ready for the cage?
You know, I mean, really, it all depends upon what that person wants to put into it. I've seen guys, you know, coach forever, not compete, and then compete. I've seen, you know, guys jump right in and compete. I've seen people just train to train. You know, it really, that's the beautiful part about this sport. You can take it for self-improvement. You can take it to lose weight. You can take it to compete. We've had quite a few guys who had no urge to compete. Then they trained for a year or so, and you kind of get that competitive, you know, that
I want to feel a liver shot.
You get that stuff in the basement, like Rocky Balboa said.
I always felt like, and I've only been to boxing gyms. I was married to a professional boxer, female, back in the day. She went for fitness, but there were other fighters in the gym who were getting kind of like that preferential treatment from the coaches. And then when it was time for one of them to fight, she saw how the entire gym just kind of rallied around it, and it sort of became a family that I think people, they feel inclined, they want to be a part of. And then they want to have the support. And then, but it's a different switch to go from I want to do it to actually having the guts to climb into the cage. That's a whole different switch.
Because it's not even just climbing in the cage. There's like an 8-week training camp where you're getting the shit beat out of you by how many people every day and night. It almost like defeats your confidence. But in reality, it's breaking you down so that you're built up by the time this fight happens.
You know, and if you know the name Jeff Levac, it's because he's been on the radio like me for a million years here in the Capital Region. But you have multiple jobs, too. And I want to make sure I say this right. President of the Albany Firebirds?
Yeah. Team president, Albany Firebirds.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Bringing that brand back.
Yeah.
You put up with a lot of nonsense over the last couple of years. A lot of us in the media and in the radio had to kind of keep quiet. We all kind of had your back because we knew what you were up against.
Right.
And we're glad that the local group decided to stay strong to bring and keep arena football still strong here in the Capital Region where it's loved.
I think if you didn't have fun at my expense while I was going to war with Antonio Brown every day
really
on
was
Instagram,
awesome.
It was just, I mean, it was an everyday thing, and he's, you know, you talk about crazy enough to fight. I don't think he's crazy enough to physically fight, but he's crazy enough to get into every single verbal battle there is.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, I would never do it again, but it definitely, it relit the fire for the rest of us to bring back a team, and no pun intended, the Firebirds.
Did he ever have good intentions when he agreed to enter the partnership with you guys as the Empire?
I think in the beginning, when we first talked to him, he talked about wanting his kids to see the field where his father played and all these things. And then once he I got to be honest with you, once he started bringing his circle together from outside, inside, that was when it all kind of fell apart.
Yeah, because, I mean, his father was a legend. I
Yeah.
mean, bringing back the Brown name and the family and the heritage, on paper it seems so good, but then, I mean, I think everyone knows Antonio Brown is facing much bigger problems.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all the hits he took with the CTE and things like that, and he just seems a little bit out of control, to say the least.
He's a spoiled athlete with CTE. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
From the sounds of it, to me, it was almost like a Rick James meets Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, no, I do feel like if somebody did put 5 fingers to the face, it might have made a difference.
We're going to bring it up to Mike Falvo.
Slap.
And now, fight fans, the upcoming contest on the card for Cage Wars 65. Scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, it is in our lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in yesterday at 156 pounds, representing Team Jukawana, Scotia, Joe Crabill. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in yesterday at 155 pounds, representing Brian Bury, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu out of Waterfleet, New York, Parker Brooks. The man in charge of the action at the sound of the bell is Mr. Matt Goler.
Well, we've got definitely contrasting body types. We got two athletes with a lot of local fans. Will, how do you see this one shaping up?
You know, we don't know a ton about Parker. So, again, coming from Bury Jiu-Jitsu, I expect him to be ready. We know Joe Crabill, his teammates real high on him. You know, I expect this to be a calculated match. As I say that, if they come out in the middle and start banging.
I mean, but Parker's got a good, strong, athletic wrestling type build, if you ask me. Sturdy base.
He really does. But, you know, the more muscle you have, the more oxygen you use. So there is a law of diminishing return after a point.
I use very little oxygen.
When you sleep,
Oh! Crabill almost slept Parker Brooks there with a left.
Parker doing a good job with that double.
That does, you can see the wrestling background there for
Yep,
sure.
absolutely.
I'll tell you guys, he ate a big shot. It was quick.
Now, let's see if he can pass this guard, though. Crabill looking to bring that left leg up, using it to stand. Wow, he is a wrestler. You are right, gentlemen.
That's that tenacity there.
Are we out of novice yet, or where are
Nope,
we with
nope, we got chin guard still.
All right,
This
we're
is
still-
it.
okay, we're
Last
still
novice fight.
All right.
Were you too busy checking my Instagram?
The shin guards were a dead giveaway. It's my first night, Will.
Good head movement by Joe Crabill. Nice right hook. Oh, good answer by
God,
Parker.
I love this fight.
Throwing bombs.
Parker has a heavy right hand, and he's excellent at changing levels.
And he's very durable, too, because he's eaten some big shots already. And another one. if
Nice
you ask
trip.
me.
That was, I mean, Crabil's just staying alive, getting through it, looking for an opportunity, looking for an in.
Credit Parker Brooks because he's not altering from his game plan.
Good
even though
job
he's-
sprawling by Joe Crabill. Oh, turn the corner, grab those legs, Parker. Nice work. You know, and that's the worst part. When somebody's a good wrestler, you defend one takedown, then they string them together.
Right. And that's all they've ever done is put people on their back. So they want it, they need it.
And they're good at it.
Parker is. I mean, again, I made a joke about the name. Look at this guy. It's a monster.
Joe Crabill got the feet into the hips. Framing on the left side.
It's been an interesting fight to score because, I mean, Brooks been down twice, and that's got to count for something, right?
He has, but, you know, he's holding them down. He's had some heavy shots himself. You know, if you're looking at damage, he's the one bleeding.
Right. Well, and also, like, to your point about the muscles needing the oxygen and everything, if you're Crabill, you're probably just thinking, I got to get this guy to the deep water.
Yes,
I got to get this guy to another round.
100%. Good job by Crabill, you know, not letting him settle into side mount, trying to keep him in half guard.
About 30 seconds left to go in our first round, a real competitive first round between Crabill and Brooks.
Joe Crabill doing a nice job with his feet in the hips, using his feet to try to elevate Parker.
His comfort on his back is you said his teammates were very excited about. That's, you can see why.
Yeah, he says he's a young kid, and he's good everywhere.
Crabill in the, well,
10
they're both wearing
seconds.
dark trunks. Crabill blue, Brooks red.
Just trying to fight those hands.
Oh!
Brooks with another takedown.
What a fight!
This is
Joe
this is
Crabill
exciting.
looks down at him like, I'm still here.
Yeah. If now here's the thing: if you didn't just watch that round, tell me which one lost. Parker
Right.
Brooks looks a lot more beat up than Joe Crabill.
He does.
Well, and this is where the arguments come in, because now they want it to be more about damage than it used to be in the past. So what are the judges looking at? Are they looking at the fact that, you know, Parker controlled it towards the end of the fight, or are they looking at that damage?
It's hard, I mean, there's got to be a balance of some variety, right? Like,
Well-
if I lost a fight and I look perfect, I'm gonna be pretty upset.
And-
If the other guy looks beat up.
Yeah, in fairness, we've seen it when it go to the judges' cards that the judges have already made some very interesting choices. I have no idea how you would score that first round. I would say slight edge, if you ask me, to Parker, just because he seemed to at least control Crabill. But Crabill did land the bigger shots, and Parker Brooks actually hit the mat a couple of times from some of those big shots. So that's an even round.
Here we go, round number 2.
Without-
Joe Crabill, a little bit light on that left leg. I wonder if something happened to his left leg.
Let's do the crowd.
Yeah, he's stepping a little light on that
Yeah.
left leg.
Guys,
Gingerly.
there is a real buzz in this crowd here tonight. We're sold out at Cage Wars 65 here at Rivers. Thank you all for watching at Stimulus.com.
And there we go. You see Parker going for that left leg.
That is good. Oh, wow. He just like Superman right at us.
Oh, we got to watch.
Can't hold.
Joe tried saying something to me. I don't know what he was saying. Parker got him against Cage, looking for that double. Can he grip the hands?
Look at the
He's
strength.
so strong. If you're Crabill, you're like, why are you still going? Like, how are you still going?
He's looking
Climbing.
to take the back. Can Crabill shake him off?
It's like, he's trying to sneak that one hook in.
You know, Joe's got that arm down. And again, this wears on both guys, because believe it or not, staying on top like that is not easy as well. That's an active position.
Well, how many fights do you have for each one of these guys? This isn't.
Crabill's first and Brooks's, or Crabill's second, Brooks's first fight.
These are two very, very talented athletes.
Right now, if you're Crabill, you got to fight the hands. You got to get an underhook. You got to turn your opponent. Do not let him sink in on those legs and lift you up again. Good job, Brooks, trying to beat up that left leg again. I think he sees that too.
Yeah. There's definitely, you can see the bend when it happens too.
Good job by Matt Goller making sure that Parker did not have a cage. Looking for Crabill's left leg. Right now, Crabill has yet to find an answer for these takedowns.
And it's just the motor right now on Parker Brooks is insane.
Yeah, these are the guys that are nightmares. You know, they remind you almost like Sean Muscle Shirk back in the day. They're just stocky and wrestlers, and they go, 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 go.
There's a good look at Crabill there being dominated by Brooks in round number 2, at least control time-wise.
And again, Crabill doing a nice job. Crabill's hitting some frames. He's trying to deliver the knees.
Crabill just unable to create any separation to Jeff Levack's point. I mean, Parker Brooks just doesn't stop.
Parker Brooks getting underneath the hips. He's locking his arms with the body lock. He's lifting. You know, less than 1 minute left.
Crabill's sneaking in shots whenever he gets a chance, but yeah, to Brian's point, it's few and far between.
He's got to fight the head, fight the hands.
Yeah, just kind of
there you go, step out.
Create any separation. Those are big body shots. Big shots.
There we go. You got to keep doing that.
Big shots.
Pattern interrupter. Oh, and there we go back down.
This is a hell of a fight here. Round 2,
Crabill
30 seconds left to go.
30 seconds. Here we go. But again, look at him going for that single. Crabill almost just sick of it, like, stop wrestling me. Is he going to check his oil?
Yeah. It's one way to get him let go of you.
Is that against the rules? How does that work?
I would hope so.
You can bring in some new sponsors. We get Jiffy Lube.
I just don't remember seeing that in the ABC rulebook. No oil checks.
Just a few seconds left to go in our second round of a really good fight.
It's a good way to spread pink eye, checking the oil.
It is. It is.
Man, these novice fights have been phenomenal.
Yeah, they're good.
Well,
Brooks finally looks exhausted, by the way, guys.
Again, the days of, you know, the guys that drink every week and fight on Fridays is over. You know, these are athletes.
But there's got to be that moment where the switch either goes on or it goes off once you're in there. And these guys, all the switches are on.
So now, if you're in the corner of Crabill, you have to create some distance. I mean, you have to
create some distance and create damage.
And do we jab? Do we step? What do we do to begin round 3?
You got to throw some double jabs. You got, you know, he's a wrestler. You got to work that rear uppercut, that step off uppercut. You got to work your angles. Don't let him turn the corner. Fight the hands. Don't let him lock the hands behind you. Do the best you can. Grab underhooks. And again, he did better the second round than the first round, but still, you know, Parker had the advantage in terms of grappling and cage work.
Guys, we don't always get a sense of what the crowd sounds like because we've got the headset on. This is a very vocal crowd here tonight.
Well, they've got a show that they should be vocal for, so.
This is fun. It's got a bit of a Roadhouse feel to it tonight here inside Rivers.
By the way, did you see the new Roadhouse?
I watched half of it.
It was great.
I think it's really good.
Jake Gyllenhaal made that movie.
He's hysterical. Conor McGregor, I wish he could get back in the cage. The acting needs a little work. But
I agree, but Jake Gyllenhaal was great.
So good. What are we?
They're checking for something. And
maybe checking a rib.
The doctor's in there. Yeah, he did slow down considerably.
He says, I'm fine.
Yeah, good. Yeah, we need a third round here. Brooks and Crabill here, set for round number 3 of a pretty competitive fight, and might even be evenly scored. Well, we don't know.
Again, we don't know what's going to happen with the judges'
idea.
scorecard now. So
this is one. If they did split it, I'd be okay.
Right.
See, right now, if you're Crabill, you got to keep your strikes in the center line. Throw that uppercut, throw that jab downward.
And advantage.
Brooks a lot slower getting up now.
Advantage Crabill.
But again, you know, don't go for those high kicks. He's got to re-secure that leg. You know, and that could have been where he hurt that left leg when, you know, Parker's grabbing those legs and you're trying to defend that.
Now, Crabill's more than likely going to need a stoppage. If he can separate here, I think he's going to have a huge advantage. And he still has about 2:15 left to go, but he's got to get to work.
But that time goes fast when somebody is you know, grappling you, wrestling you.
There's the separation. Oh, he almost
If you look at Brooks, though, Brooks is hanging on for dear life right now. He doesn't want – he's finally slowing down.
That's what I mean. If Crabill's able to get any separation.
You know, and I'm sure the ref's going to start watching this too. making sure that he's actually advancing.
Right. As opposed to just deer lifing.
Just watching the clock go by.
And again, you know what? Parker Brooks is doing what he thinks he needs to do to win.
It is control time at the end of the day.
It really is. He's got his arms locked again. This is where Crabill gets in trouble. Arms are locked low. He lifts and pulls.
But this is Crabill's path, though. Will, this is Crabill's path. It
Well, now
starts right
Crabill's doing a good job fighting the head. You see him bring Parker up, change the center of gravity.
Oh, he almost had. He's almost
got to
out.
pull that left leg out hard.
See now,
he just spanked him?
he slapped his butt.
If I'm the ref, I'm
standing
him up
because he can't do anything.
And he's just holding on at this point. You know, there's no real threat to the takedown.
Got to stand him up.
Come on.
Yeah.
You can do it,
Stand him
Joe.
up. Let's go. I like it. Otherwise, he's going to spank him again.
But stand him up. Be diligent about standing up. Separate them.
1 minute.
Right?
Well, now at least he's back on his feet.
He's trying to pull that leg in.
Single.
Yeah.
Crable looking to his corner for some direction.
And Crabill's frustrated, but Crabill's just
There
going
we
to
go.
There we go,
the
Joe.
win. Here we go.
Grab that underhook.
45 seconds. Just enough time for Crabill.
He's got to throw the uppercut. He's got to throw the center line strikes.
Brooks is spent. Spent.
There's the jab. There's the 1-2.
You got to unload. You got to work.
You got to see that coming.
That leg.
Great job by Brooks there. Out of desperation, though. Very, very intelligent.
He's able to push the head down though. Now it's different.
Make him get up.
Now it's
right.
Well, you're winning. Your hands are landing.
15 seconds left. It's going to be interesting to see what the judges say.
Well, this third round for sure.
Oh!
This third round for sure is Crabill.
10 seconds left.
Great
Can
fight
he
by
stop
both
it?
these guys.
They're fighting right to the bell here at Cage Wars 65.
Wow, nice
What
fight
a
by
fight.
both these guys.
What a fight.
That's the prelims. This is the prelims.
Novice rules.
That was,
Holy cow.
you know what? That was very exciting. We'll see if it was enough for Crabill. He certainly turned the switch midway through round 2. Probably won the third round. I think you can make an argument. It's very, very close.
And after that other score, we really don't know what to expect from the judges.
That's a great point. Anything can happen. And these guys are just learning. They're just getting started. There's some instincts that are going to start to develop that are going to change this kind of fight for each one of them.
Yeah, I want to see that rematch without novice rules.
Yeah.
Waiting for the scorecard to come up to Mike Valvo. We got a replay coming. Crabill knowing he's got to create some damage.
Boom. Look at how tough Brooks is, though. He never stops coming. Boom.
He's even the punches are coming blindly. He's putting his head down with his eyes closed because he just wants to keep throwing.
It's a good fight.
Great fight by both these guys. Excellent show of sportsmanship. We're bringing it up to Mike Valvo.
And I have no idea who won.
As always, fight fans, a round of applause for 2 great fighters and 1 great fight.
That was great.
And now, after 3 hard-fought rounds of mixed martial arts, we go to the official scorecard. All 3 judges have scored the fight 30-27 for your winner by way of unanimous decision, Joe Crabill.